Well, all right. JT back with you in the studio. It is Studio 10-4 Live, the weekly update, and it is June 25th, Wednesday. Excuse me. We have a show for you guys today. We are doing our cover truck feature show. So we should have our cover trucker, Mr. David Viss, if I'm not mistaken, if that's pronouncing it correctly. And if you guys by now haven't seen that freaking crazy looking Bullnose truck out there on the cover, you've been missing out. And more so, if you haven't read the story, whether magazine or online, the same either way, more pictures online than the magazine. But what a story, man. I mean, American story of trucking and how to kind of create a dynasty of family and business and all the right stuff, really cool deal. I read it again today, and there's so much. It's such a big story too. It is a really, not all of them are that big. This one's pretty big, a lot of stuff in there. So I hope we get him on here and he makes it. He was traveling today too, so it's not just some challenges from the technical side of things. It also is that he's traveling. He's traveling to Pahrump, Nevada, and when I last spoke to him, he was in Vegas. So he should be in Pahrump by now, but we'll see. Hanging in the wing, though, I got our buddy Steve, goes by Gringo, and he's hanging out there in his garage in Arizona down there cooking a little bit right now for us. And this is kind of cool because Steve, of course, works over at Pickett Custom Trucks there, does a lot of what goes on over there, and to his own testimony, as we talked about our last cover truck that was out of there, which nobody would recognize if you saw it today because it's probably laying in pieces on the shop floor in there right now. Anyway, we'll get Steve in here to talk it up because he had a big hand in getting this Bullnose put together and finished up so it could go down the road looking the way that it does and acting the way that it does. I want to say thanks to our cover truck sponsor. Our cover truck show is sponsored every month by Pittsburgh Power and their product, Max Mileage, and Evans Detailing and Polishing. And when it's time to go have fun, time to look good, it's time to shine. David is in the house. Dang it, look at that. David, I'll be right with you, buddy. We see you, and hopefully we'll be able to hear you, man. You wipe off that screen a little bit, and maybe it'll get rid of some of the haze that we're seeing there in front of you. It looks like you're in a dust storm in Pahrump, Nevada, maybe, or something. Just wipe it off with a shirt or whatever, anything you can, man. But we see him there, so that means we got him. Probably ought to bring him in, and that way we'll take advantage of him while he's here. And we got him. David, how are you, buddy?
I'm doing well, thank you.
Good to have you, man. Yeah, you just you look a little cloudy. Usually that's just kind of a dirty screen, and it will work through it, man. It is what it is, right?
Right. Let me see here. How about that? Is that any better?
Nope, we lost your video. There you go.
Okay.
Yep. That's all right, man. We'll stick with you. We'll take what we can get. We got you, and that's what counts. So thanks for making it and taking the time out to be on the show today.
Yep, I appreciate it. Appreciate you having me.
Absolutely. Yeah, go movie star, man. Go movie star. There you go.
The sun's hitting my eyes here. I'm in the pickup.
Yeah, I could see that. I know it's there. Hey, if it's easier, and for our purposes, it's better if you turn that phone on its side. It'll give us a better shot of. There you go. There's the man. Yeah, oh yeah. That's a whole bunch better, man. There you go. So much better. And you're on the road today in Pahrump. And why are you in Pahrump? What's going on?
We're doing an off-road race. I'm supporting Flying Dutchman Racing.
What kind of vehicles? What are you guys running out there?
The trophy truck.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Shoot.
Yeah. We've been doing that for 25 years with them.
Well, good luck, man. Good luck to you. I hope you guys do a good run and a good race and a safe race and make it to the finish line. Good deal.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
Yep.
absolutely is right. Well, I've got Steve waiting in the wings, but let's talk to you for a few minutes first before we bring him on in. We got Dan and Shan and Mike and a few others in the audience chiming in. We got a lot of people watching in the background. Don't always know who's watching until they make a comment, but once they do, then I know who's there. So thanks you guys for tuning in. I'm going to go ahead and put the comments up on the screen, and as you guys comment on stuff, then we'll be able to answer back at you. Got Aunt Barb in the house too. Aunt Barb, I'm glad to have you in here, honey. I hope you're doing well. Let's talk about you and your truck. This beauty, and we saw this in Arizona at the Diesels in the Desert show. That's where it all came to us. You've been working on this thing a while, but let's back up. Your whole family, you guys created I want to say a legacy of trucking and being in the trucking industry. And I'd like for you to share that with everybody. You can read the story, guys, but it's nothing like hearing it from the man himself. So go ahead, David, tell us about it.
Well, yeah, I got the trucking bug, I guess, when I was in 4 years old. Like you said, got to ride in the cattle truck with Jake DeWitt, and that kind of got me the bug.
Yeah.
And so at a young age, I started hauling green feed from the field to the local dairies there. And then I started hauling hay, and I did that until, oh, my late.
Yep. We locked up. Come on back. We lost you there, David. Come on back, buddy. We zigged instead of zagged. So I was just going to ask him too. So when we get him back, I want to know what he was running back in those early days. It sure wasn't anything like he's driving. Well, it could have been because that truck was around then. It sure was, but it wasn't in his possession. So there was plenty of them like it out there, though. I don't know if he's realized that we dropped him either. So I'll tell you what I'm going to do. Steve, I'm going to bring you in, buddy. And when David comes back in, and David, if you can hear me, yeah, he'll figure it out. Probably he'll restart and get that fired back up. How you doing, man?
I'm good. How about yourself?
Introduce yourself to everybody, because I know who you are, but let everybody know who you are.
I'm Steve Michell. I go by Steve Gringo online, YouTube, Facebook, all that stuff.
Yeah.
I work at Pickett Custom Trucks. Pretty much do a little bit of everything there.
I like it. I like it when you say you work Pickett Custom Trucks, because nobody, when you do what you do or what I do, we don't work at, we work it. You know what I mean? It's just kind of what we do.
I'm just the guy that does whatever needs to be done at that
there
moment.
You go, man. There you go. That's it. So good to have you back on the show. We had a great time with you last time, and when we featured that April cover, and of course, you know, I talked about it at the beginning there, and it said, man, if you were to walk in your shop right now, you'd walk over pieces of that truck and not even know it was it, right?
Oh yeah, you wouldn't even hardly recognize it. Other than you might see some green pieces over on each side of the shop, and there's frame rails, and everything's apart. I actually was working on chopping the top today. It's all in about 15 pieces, the body. So
I think what we're going to have to do at 10-4 Magazine is you got to fill out a disclaimer when you go on the cover of 10-4 Magazine. Can't sell your truck within a year. Can't tear it apart in a million pieces and change it into something other than what it is and was within a year. You know, I mean, it's just that truck. Every time you turn around, every time it goes to a show and leaves and goes back into the shop, something happens to it. It just turns into something else. Now it's getting a whole different deal going on. So
it'll be a whole new truck.
I'm curious to see, as many of us are. Oh yeah, Dan. Dan says you can sell it. We just get 10%. Yeah, commission, man. That's the 10-4 fee, right? 10-4 fee. I think so, Dan. I think you're on to something. Annette, sweetheart, good to have you on the show. Watching for Riverdale. howdy to you two, and thanks for tuning in. By the way, Mike and Jody, man, am I right? They share the same birthday, Annette, and it's their anniversary. So, because I mean, I don't know until I saw this last go around on Facebook, but that's, I guess, a whole nother story. Jeffrey, what's up, my friend? And Scotty, what's going on, buddy? Good to have you on the show. Hey, let's talk about David's truck. I hope he comes back, man. I hope he, didn't fall over or something. But let's talk about this truck. You got this thing after they put 60,000 miles on it, got all the bugs out of it, supposedly, and said, here, now make it look pretty. Is that kind of what we, kind of got to go on here?
Yeah, for the most part. David runs that thing pretty regular. I mean, and I've seen him on the road many times, and he's not bashful either. I mean, you see him coming in the hammer lane, you better pull over because he's going to blow your doors off on that thing.
You know what? There's nothing better than having a sleeper come around you and you not expect it like that, especially that truck, because nobody would expect that thing to blow their doors off, but it will, right?
I'll tell you, the very first time I ever seen that truck, I didn't even know David, didn't know he existed, anything. I was headed home from the shop and I met him coming at me on the interstate. He was in the third lane, all the way over against the grass, passing cars, and he had a jag of hay on that thing. He had both wagons loaded and the deck, the drum deck.
And the deck, yeah.
And he was hauling ass, man. And honestly, that's David to a T right there. You don't ever see him slow. He's always hauling ass.
I love it, man. You know what? All the old guys, and he and I are the same age, so I kind of have to laugh a little bit when I say that. Nothing better than, just putting your foot to the wood and on the coals, man, and getting it going. I mean, there's nothing better than power. Right. You got power. You get where you want to go, and I mean, I'm here to say there's safety in power too. Now, there's danger there as well if you're dumb and you do dumb things, but there is safety in power. Hey, Jeffrey, Jeff, when you go out of state, how hard is it to haul triples? Depends on what state you're in. California, very hard. They don't allow it. Arizona, Oregon, Washington, Utah. I don't know where else. I know the West Coast corridors where you can pull triples, but yeah, I don't know. Are you driving? Anyway, that truck, when we saw it in Arizona, I mean, I saw it, Dan saw it. We didn't see it together at the same time. And then it ends up on the cover, and that rightly so. It belonged on the cover. That truck's it's phenomenal. And those, what's that?
I just said it's a very cool truck.
It's a very cool truck. There's something about those old trucks, and I remember back at Crazy Bob Hitchcock's Cherokee Truck Show, we had, I don't know if we had an old K-Dub Bullnose, but we had the old Peterbilt, and it was the ugliest truck contest, and I think that Peterbilt that you had on the lot won. But it's an ugly that you love. You look at that and you go, God, that's the ugliest thing I ever seen. But damn, I love that thing, And this is one of those trucks. And but there's something more to this truck, man. Because it's been changed. I mean, they got the quad lights up there, instead of the singles, and I mean, just the way it sits, the way it looks, the way it's done. That's not a 53 like it came out of the showroom, right?
No, and I mean, as far as I know, the only thing that's 53 is the cab. It's on a later model chassis. It's got an M14 in it. More modern stuff. I believe it was originally a single headlight. The dual headlights are from like 58, I think, 58, 59.
Yeah, he changed them. So they pulled somebody, so the story goes, it had the singles, somebody put the rectangles in, and he pulled those and put the round doubles in. So that's what it says in the story anyways, I think.
Yeah, I know they're not supposed to be there. And actually before we got it, or when we got it, It just had plates just screwed onto the front of it that had the double round lights in. They weren't actually even like molded into the body of it.
Right. Right.
So,
Well,
but yeah, there's a lot of stuff that's different on that truck.
I'm gonna bring this up too, because I mean we're sitting here, chatting about it, and I guess, you know what, I don't know what happened to our guy, but unfortunately he didn't make it. So I'm thinking he either got frustrated and said, Dan, confounded darn technological thing, and said the hell with it, or it just wasn't working. But here's the truck, and if you guys haven't read the story yet, you need to go over to 104magazine.com, check it out, or subscribe to 104 Magazine and get your copy like I get mine right here in the clear plastic jacket. I mean, it comes off the press, it gets slipped into this thing, they stamp your mailing address on here, and they send it off right from the printer. So I can't think of a better way to do it. And you can get 5-packs of these too. So if you want to get 5-pack and share some with the friends, you can do that as well. So looking at all these shots, and it's funny, Dan shot this out there in the alfalfa, and it wreaked havoc on me when I went in to try to grab the truck out of the weeds. There was no way to do it. So it wouldn't do it. It just overlapped. So the shots you see down here in the bottom of the studio are in there this month because of that reason. But and there's our guy right there. I think he was wearing that same hat when he was live there a few minutes ago too. Attention to detail. So tell us, what did you guys get involved in on this thing? What were you doing to it?
So when we got it, he had a little fender bender at the shop. The front of the truck got backed into by a pickup, and it pretty much caved in the sheet metal underneath the passenger headlight. So we had to rework all that sheet metal on the front. Yeah. We ended up repainting the whole truck, and I can tell you they made the trucks good in 53, but they did not make fitment was not a priority for them.
Yeah, okay.
It was like, they just hand cut panels and riveted them together. Nobody cared about gaps or fit and finish or anything like that. So it got a lot of love in the body shop department. It was probably in there for a couple months, just body working out all the nooks and crannies. We welded up the panels and got the headlights in it to where they actually looked like they were in it originally. Trying to think what else we did. I know obviously we painted the whole truck, built a light bar for the back of it, new bumper on the front.
I love that bumper, man. That bumper is sweet.
We had to do a little work to get that on there because so that truck, it's a tilt cab now, but it was not originally built as a tilt cab.
Correct. Yep. Correct.
So we had to make sure there was clearance and everything fit to still be able to tilt.
So it looks like you got on right there on the top of the bumper. Am I looking at the pivot on one side, or is that something else that I'm seeing underneath that passenger side?
The pivot is right on the top of the bumper, kind of where the grill on the left and right sides of the grill.
Yeah, that's what I thought. Here's something funny, Steve. You'll laugh at this too. And listen, fans of 10-4, we love you guys. Without you, we're nobody. So, but just one little thing, I read some of the story before you guys make the comments, and you'll have the answers because it's all in there. And there was one old timer that got on there, and he said, yeah, those things are just, they break your back and your body gets destroyed driving in, the cab doesn't tilt, and la 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 la, And I'm like, oh my gosh, this guy didn't read anything. So there it is, folks. It is a custom build. It does tilt. There's a lot of things this truck does now in 2025 that in 1953 nobody even knew could be done, right?
Oh, definitely.
So, but that bumper, like I said, I love the bumper. Now, I haven't seen a pic yet that reveals it or not, but does it have light panels behind it too, in front of the wheels?
Yes, I believe it does. That's usually something we put on almost all of our trucks we
Is it?
work on.
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
Good deal.
yeah, and it's got lights between the drum deck and the back of the cab on there. It lights up blue and underneath the drum deck.
Yep. I love the
So,
cab, man. That is a sweet looking cab. And I mean, you know what? I'll tell you what, if you ever want to cheat and get a hood and drive a cab over, this is it, right?
oh yeah, definitely. Definitely.
Kind of. If you follow my reasoning here,
Yep.
you get that bullnose out there in front of you, so you got a little bit of a hood, and yet you're in a COE. Anyway,
Yep.
now did you guys have anything to do with the interior on this one?
Not really. That was pretty much all in there. I think Garrett did most of that with the panels.
Yeah.
We rebuilt one of his upper dash or at the headliner. It's got a bunch of aluminum panels up there. We had to
Up there,
kind
yeah.
of rebuild one of those and polish everything. And but mostly the interior was already done when we got it. So we didn't mess with that too much. I'm trying to think of what we did do. I know if you go back to the grill of the truck, we had an extensive discussion over the grill on there, because the grill that he had been modified many times in the last 70 years, and it was a real mess. And between David and Garrett and everybody wanted to keep the truck, maybe not era specific too much, but they wanted to keep it very original looking. And we had to scour the internet to find out what the grill would have looked like in that truck in the 50s, and then try to recreate it. And I actually built the whole front of that grill out of one piece of material, replacing 4 pieces of material. And then we used a Peterbilt grill and actually cut it up and made it fit to have a stainless grill in it, because that truck never came with any of that stuff.
Is that a condenser behind the grill?
Air to air. It's not a condenser. That's the
it is the air to air, huh? Okay. All right.
Yeah. But we pieced it together, and it looks pretty much original, or at least as close to original as it would have in the day.
Yeah.
And tried to clean that up. But it does have a roof mount air conditioner now, which that was added. That was not on it previously.
I see that up there. I mean, let's be clear too. This was not being built to be a period correct truck by any means. So, whatever you do to try to kind of keep the aesthetics in line with that, you do. But at the same time, there was a lot other stuff going on here.
Oh yeah, definitely. It's also got bus glass windshields in it, which are pretty rare for a cab over of any kind. I mean, they're pretty common in Pete's nowadays, but you can see the blue tint on the bottom of the windshields.
I see that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
So those are all custom made.
I just love this old truck, man. I'll tell you, you know what? I first big truck I ever drove was an International 4070, CO 4070.
Mm-hmm.
And I think the first big truck I ever rode in as a kid was a cab over. I'm pretty sure it was. Got to go back a lot of years for that memory, but there's just something about cab overs, man, right? There's just sort of a thing. It's like trucking. Yeah. Cab over, right? It just has. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I grew up with hoods. My dad always had Pete's with 359, 379, but I can remember being small and going in the truck with my grandfather, who actually had a 9670 International cab over. And I were just sitting on the doghouse on the carpet and thinking that was so cool riding down the road.
Yeah.
So, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, right. I was just going to say that was a long time ago. And it's all fun and games until you end up behind the wheel and it's a job. Then the true testimonies are born of, do you want to do this? Do you love to do this? Will you continue to do this? And cab overs, man. My son-in-law, who used to work for me back in the day, we'd sit at the restaurant and this just happened once or twice, but we'd sit at the restaurant in Stockton there by Cherokee Bob's place at the truck stop, and the guys would come walking in, and he'd start saying Freightliner, Peterbilt for every guy that walked in, right? And it was due to the way that these guys walked, the conditions of their bodies, and how tweaked and bent they were. And the worst one that came in was this old dude, man. And I'm telling you, this guy was bent in so many different directions. I don't know how he ever made it down the road straight. He said that dude was driving a Freightliner cab over, and I kid you not, he was.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah. Oh my gosh. Hey, I want to take a second and say hi to everybody. Hi, Gene, Dale, what's going on? Eddie, Alyssa, nice to have you. Dougie, what's up? Burrito Man, Burrito Dougie. You know what, that guy, I'll tell you, hey man, you know what, Dougie, what happened to the barbecue stuff, dude? You used to barbecue too, man. We used to get some barbecue from you, and beef jerky, I remember back in the day. A lot of detail, a lot of little things, stuff that probably most people don't notice. By the way, that light panel is on there, but there is no light in the panel.
So that is a tire plate there. The lights are the inside where the mounting bracket is for the boltless mount.
Okay. Gotcha. All right. Right on. Gotcha. You know, the other thing too, I'm surprised you guys didn't put any flaps on the inside of the fender. So I'm guessing in the muddy, nasty stuff, it slings on through there and on down to the bumper. Maybe one of these days, you guys will get it back and do one of those Pickett, let's tear it apart and rebuild it again, build off deals.
Oh, let's hope not. That truck ended up in the shop for about a year last time, and I don't think David wants to lose it again for that long.
Oh, and by the way, there's the shot currently featured on the top shot of the 10-4 magazine Facebook page as he's riding out of the month, and we are going to be getting our new cover coming out. In fact, I'm going to be having a sneak peek here in a few of our upcoming July 2025 cover, which you guys, I'll tell you this much right now, stick around. It is a truck that was at Trucking for Kids this year, and we'll be going to the Stars and Stripes and White Lines show in Atlanta. Another one of our West Coasters that got poached from us that won't be with us in November, but we'll be rooting for them in November in Atlanta. Good shot of the family there. Everybody in the barn, it looks like. But there's that N14, man. That thing's pretty damn clean, right?
Oh yeah, David's truck's very clean when he's not out in the field with it.
Well, it is a hay hauler, so you never know what's going to happen, right? I mean,
yep.
These trucks, that's the thing, man. These guys, does that bumper have the air on it?
No, it doesn't fold out.
It doesn't fold out. Okay, all right. Now there's the work you guys did up there on the top and the headliner. You guys put all that together, is that right?
Well, we kind of put it together. There, we just did some repairs. Garrett, I believe, built most of that in the original, or was the original builder of it. And you can see on the left side that truck was originally 2 sticks. He still has the plates up there. It's not anymore, but it is pretty cool. It
still has 2 sticks in it, though, right?
It does, but the second one, I believe, is the air splitter.
Okay, that's the air. Okay, gotcha. All right. Yeah, you know, that's why God made 18 speeds, man. Yeah. Well, I love this truck, and you guys did a fantastic job of putting that thing together on your end of it. The other person we keep talking about on this too is Garrett, and he's down there in that area as well. And what's his last name?
Boyle.
So and we invited Garrett to be on the show today too, but he just already had commitments and couldn't make it. But a lot of credit on this build obviously goes to him and his skills and abilities as well. So combination of Pickett Custom Trucks and Garrett and his team getting this thing to roll down the road, doing what it does. Unfortunately, it's pretty clear that Dave is not going to be coming back with us. So I'll tell you what we will do is we'll get him on the show again some other time when he's not on the road and having to do what he's doing. But gives us time to get caught up with Steve and the shenanigans that are going on down there in Pickett land. Besides our April cover truck being torn down into a million pieces right now, what else is going on down there in the desert besides it being hot?
Oh, well, it's definitely hot. Like we discussed earlier, we've already been well into the 110 plus range this year already. So it's warm.
Yeah, but it's dry heat.
Yeah, it's a dry heat. I mean, turn your oven on and stick your head in there, and that's how dry it feels.
Exactly. That I know. When people say, "Oh, but it's dry heat," yeah, but it's still 115. Don't do it. No.
But no, we're super busy. We got so many things going on. I think we have like 5 motorhomes on site right now. In various.
What are you doing with that? Are you guys doing motorhomes?
We got 2 of them. We're prepping for converter, like setting up to go become 1492 coaches, like the one Rod has. So we have one that's brand new. It's a chassis we've decked out, and we have another one that's it's actually a road truck, and we're going to convert it into a motorhome chassis.
Wow!
So it's pretty wild. We got to stretch the frame 29 feet. It's insane. It's nuts. It's going to be a huge project. But I don't know. We turned into the motorhome shop lately. Everybody's bringing their big coaches in to get air ride and lights and bumpers and all kinds of stuff like that. We got a couple race haulers in there that we're just tuning up with the lights and paint and stuff like that.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think. We got a lot of projects. We probably got like 30 trucks sitting in the driveway right now. We got a little truck project. It's a Duramax dually chassis, but we're putting a 67 C50 Chevy body on it. So it's like a lowrider, little mini old school truck.
You're going square body on it.
It's a square, yeah, it's a square body, but it's a C50, so it would have been like a semi in 67.
Yeah. Oh, but, yeah. Okay, gotcha.
Yeah, it'd be the equivalent of like a 6500 nowadays, like a top kick.
Gotcha.
So that's kind of a cool project. Yeah, the green truck is just in 100 pieces.
Yeah. Well, what are you going to do, man? I mean, and so I guess the story is that truck, everybody knew what it looked like and what got it invited to Atlanta. Well, I mean, there's something to be said about that. So they invited it based on what it was. Now it's coming. It's like, it's a whole nother truck now, man. I mean, do we even know, can we even say what it's going to look like or what we're doing? I mean, the pieces of it on the floor and the pictures on social media tell us that the cab's chopped, tops dropped. I mean, and on and on and on and on. But
there's a lot of stuff that's going to be in the works. Not all of it's ironed out yet. I'm not even sure if we can get it done in that time frame, honestly. But
there's that.
But the deal was, it was nice. We done a bunch of work to it. We fixed it up. But was it nice enough to go to the national championship? Is it nice enough to go up against the East Coast trucks that are just phenomenal?
Oh, hell yeah, it was. Yeah, man. No, it was. Absolutely.
So we want to go and we want to be serious about it. And to do that, it's just turned into a complete rebuild, basically. It might be the December car truck, and you might not even know it's the same truck. That's what I'm saying.
Hey Dan, did you hear that? He just dropped it. Cover truck version 2.0
is it will still be green and purple.
Oh, really? Okay.
But it probably will not look the same.
Yeah, I doubt it. Yeah, I doubt it will. And then the engine, I mean, you guys just painted the engine basically. So that's staying the way it is or was.
Most part, that'll probably stay the same. Okay. We'll probably add some chrome. We'll try to clean everything up, get the firewall cleaned up, reroute some wiring. There is a lot of custom stuff. I mean, we may end up just starting over from basically nothing with that truck, like ripping all the wiring harness out and just building it from scratch. I don't know if we're going to get that far yet, but it's definitely snowballed from a couple little tweaks to let's just recreate the wheel here.
Let's just reborn. Let's just rebirth it. Yeah, pretty much.
Go ahead.
So let's look at this from a different angle. And it's hard to say when you talk custom builds, custom trucks, and try to say what do most folks do, because there's no most about it. I mean, there's some simple stuff. Guy goes to the chrome shop, buys some things, and says, "Hey, can you put all this stuff on my truck for me?" Maybe there's a few custom tweaks that come in along the way, but not in this case. This is a whole different level. So on a custom build, from start to finish, let's just say on average, guy comes in, knows what he wants. You guys have the meetings that it takes to get it clear in everybody's head what you're going to do. Along the way, some things may change, but let's just say you're on course. Are you guys going T&M, or do you bid it, or what are you guys doing?
It can kind of go multiple different directions. On the real custom stuff, it kind of probably boils down time and material, because you just can't book, like chopping the top or suicide doors, or, I mean, those are big jobs, lots of hours. But if it's something like you're getting a bumper or a set of stacks or something like that, you can kind of flat rate that job, because you have an idea of what everything costs. Yeah.
That's all bolt on improvements and customizations are pretty, you've done it before, you'll do it again. It's pretty standard. Yeah. But let's say, so, I mean, as a builder of both trucks and houses myself, my thing I used to do with people is I'd say, okay, what's your budget? And some people, they kind of back away from the table when you do that, because they're like, oh, you want to see how much money I got to spend and take it all. Well, yeah, but at the same time, I want to make sure you got the money to spend to build this dream that you have in your head that you want us to build for you, whatever it was, a truck, a house, a pool. I mean, I've done them all, but are you guys in that same kind of deal? Do you go, okay, what's the budget? And then let's see what we can do.
Yes and no. A lot of times customers send us, they'll email us a list of everything they want. And they'll get a quote back, and it's either, the quote's acceptable, they're happy, and they say, go for it. Or they'll be like, oh, well, you blew my budget by 15, 20 grand, whatever it is. We gotta take some stuff away. So then, and this is Rod's side of the business, but, and then they work out, well, what can we do away with? What can we change? What can we get you where you need to be? And then there's always overages too, as you go, or unforeseen things once you're in the job.
Extra work orders.
And
so to speak, kind of, yeah.
And we've done a lot of brand new trucks too, where guys will piggyback them in, and they want, I like to call them like the extra value meal packages. It's the truck shows up and they're like, I want 8-inch stacks, I want a bumper, I want a visor, I want cab lights, just the standard package. So obviously we kind of know what that stuff costs, and if it's gonna be in a certain price range, whether you can tell a guy, well, you're going to spend 10 grand, you spend 20 grand, 30, 40, 50, whatever grant, to get where you're going to be. And honestly, a lot of people wouldn't think it's pretty common even to drop off a brand new truck and just get the standard items and spend over $50,000. Just on basic, mainly bolt-on items by the time you're all said and done. Stuff that everybody takes for granted when you see all these really nice owner-operator type trucks going down the road with stainless deck plates and light bars and stacks, visor, bumper, grill, box, stainless box covers, that stuff.
Yeah, I mean, you talk when you're talking exhaust, and you're 10 grand, right? I mean, you could do 10 grand on exhaust easy, right?
Oh, you can totally get up there. I mean, you can be well over $5,000 in parts these days. Easy.
Yeah.
Just
Yeah.
in the parts on the floor plus installation. And everybody knows labor's higher than ever these days. So yeah, you can easily touch 10 grand just on doing an exhaust system.
And that might not even be a functional exhaust too. You're talking, stacks, and they don't even have anything going through them. And you got the weed burners in there that are, what are actually putting the exhaust out, which I get it. But oh God, I hate it. It's like, come on. But
Yeah.
how many of those do you do? I mean, is there a lot of those that come through the shop that get done that way?
When it comes to like brand new stuff, yeah, there's a lot of dummy stacks. Believe it or not, probably 50% easy are dummies.
That's crazy. That is crazy. There's some interesting things going on right now in our world, extended out of our country and in our country, that have to do within our country, specifically turning the clock back on some things and correcting some things that were done when people were just out of their minds, I guess. I don't know a better way to put it, but I don't know how much of this, there's been some things that the EPA has gotten smacked around a little bit too here. So I wonder where we're going to land in a year and where we'll be at. I mean, the plans for California to basically, shut itself down from the rest of the world by not allowing anybody that uses, gas or diesel to move around in state via gas or diesel. That's off the table now. It was insane to ever put it on there, but it's off. So I'll be curious to see where we land in the trucker world. I mean, there's got to be a point where you just go, okay, enough's enough. We all tried to do this thing. Now we need to be sensible and everybody needs to get back to work. And I mean, right?
Yeah, well, it'd be great if they pull back on some of these emissions. I mean, it sounds like they're trying to do that. I don't think they're gonna completely go away. It'd be awesome if they did. But even just not advancing them any farther would be wonderful for a while.
Well, they need to get rid of the death part of the equation. That stuff's got to go, man.
Oh,
I mean, and for a lot of reasons, right?
Yep. Just the maintenance and the upkeep and the longevity of the motors isn't there anymore like it used to be. It's expensive to operate.
No.
So
no, and I'm a good buddy of mine's on the show here, Scott. He just was pulling his RV to the coast, and he got a code, and it was for the DEF system. It's gonna derate in 100 miles. It told him, and needs to go to the dealer. You got to get it checked out. Well, long story short, he took and it's a Dodge Cummins, 6.7 Cummins turbo diesel. He got it to the campground, watched the video on YouTube, pulled the injector off, cleaned it, and it was all crystallized, put it back on, put some fresh fluid in it, and it ran fine. Well, got it to the shop. There's no code stored. I mean, there's just so many stupid damn things that go on here, which the thing should have kept a code in the ECM, but it didn't. It did not store the code.
It's hard to say. He fixed the problem and it went away.
It went away, and the dealership's like, we can't figure it out, and I'm sure they're like $200 an hour to tell them that, right?
Oh, at least.
At least, yeah. And this is on the California coast, over in the Bay Area, Bodega Bay, little place that him and his wife found that we're all gonna share on New Year's this year. I've watched so many different videos of techs that are, bringing up all of these just shortcomings of the technology that's out there, whether it's a DEF system, EGR system, a heat exchange, on the Cummins, that when that fails on that Cummins truck, and I don't mean the big trucks, I don't know about the big trucks, but on the Cummins pickup engine, it takes the whole engine out. It's just a nut that falls off and it goes through the system, and that's it. You're done, right? 20 grand later, new engine. it's like, God, guys, can we get on a standard that when we know we build an engine and it goes out, it's not going to fall apart in a year, or it's not going to be on a course to just die and self-destruct. And I don't know if we're there. I know we're not there right now.
Right. Well, there's a lot of issues these days, especially ever since COVID, with just parts quality, parts availability. I've seen multiple guys, their engines go down, they take them to the shop, they get in-framed, they're back on the road. They spent $50,000-$60,000 to have their motor rebuilt, and they don't make it 2 or 3 months, and it's blown up again for some unaffiliated reason that doesn't get covered under warranty. And now they're belly up because they can't afford to do 2 motors in 2 months.
Well, no, you got to be making money to spend money, and that's just not in the budget, man. A lot of people don't get that, and I don't mean the truckers. I mean, well, some of them don't either, but the rest of us, we're looking at the truck going down the road, and a lot of us, we feel inconvenienced because truck's in our way. This is going on, or that's going on, or whatever. But bottom line is, man, it's all part of our system. It's all part of our world and our economy. If you got it, a truck brought it. I mean, that's the oldest saying out there, but it's true. And these guys are out there on a budget that, anything goes wrong in that day, that could be the difference between staying in business and being out of business, depending on what it is that went wrong, and you do an engine rebuild, there's $30,000. If you do a full rebuild, rear ends, tires, frickin', I don't even know what a tire's like $400 now, right?
Oh, more than that. I've seen tires over $1,000 a piece. These days for a Michelin, for a name brand.
Yeah.
Even your import tires are $300 to $500 a piece or more.
Yeah, $500 is probably pretty much standard at this point, man. There's a lot of things that are not cool with what we do and how we get treated in our industry. Hopefully some things are going to change here, and we can get some price adjustments that are going to make it a little easier for us. I mean, look, the whole way the economy went in the last 4 years directly revolved around transportation. Cost of transportation is so high. It costs so much more now to get anything from point A to point B. There's just no way around it. And there's other factors that were in there as well, but the transportation's everything. Cost of fuel, I don't know how it is down there with you guys right now. Up here in Oregon, price of diesel supposedly is supposed to be down, but it's not. Price of oil is supposed to be down, and it's not. So I don't know. Anyway, things go the way they go. You guys see it on your end. You guys are doing things that are fun and exciting. Sometimes they're just the general repairs that need to be done to get guys down the road too. But you see it in all different ways and shapes and forms down there, and it gives you a pretty good gauge of how things are going out there in the economy when it comes in and somebody's just trying to get by, or they're like, just take it, do it, whatever needs to be done, do it, right?
Yeah, I mean, it's getting tough for the small guy these days to afford the luxuries of the fancy parts. I've noticed a large amount of our customer base are either corporate funded, or they're people that are outside of the trucking industry. Their money's made somewhere else. They just happen to have trucks because they're toys. But for the little guy, it's tough out there, and it's tough even in the best of times. And right now we are definitely not in the best of times. We're in a very tough spot. We're seeing guys, they break down and they just abandon their trucks. They'll buy a cheap truck for $10,000 and they literally drive it until it cannot move anymore. Yeah. And they'll throw it away and buy another one. They don't care. And that's the industry these days in certain parts of the country. And that's what kind of ruins it for everybody else.
I hate to say it. I've seen that years ago, I've seen that same approach, and it seems like it's still out there, I guess.
Oh, it definitely is. Definitely is here. You see a lot of guys, they're running dirt, they're staying local. So if they break down, they call their wife to come get them. They don't care.
Right. I got it. Well, listen, Steve, I'm going to let you go. We're going to wrap it up. I'm sorry that we missed out talking to David, but we'll get him back and be able to talk a little bit to him. And I want to share his story with everybody out there. And then unfortunately we weren't able to do that entirely. But here's the deal, guys. If you want to find out everything there is to know about him, his company, his family, and what he's been doing in this truck, 104magazine.com. You can go check it out, read the story there. It'll be up for another week or so, maybe less, depends. But we are going into a new edition coming out, and I have a preview of that I want to share. And Steve, thanks for taking the time and hanging with us again. I always appreciate it, man. You and all the guys at Pickett, you guys are awesome. Thanks.
No problem. Thank you.
All right, brother. Take care. We'll see you again soon. All right.
Have a good one.
All right. Thanks. All right, guys. I want to get this shot of this truck. And again, this might be a little bit of a surprise to everybody. And again, by the way, you know what? Thanks, Steve. Again, I appreciate you. I know how much time it is valuable and it takes to get over here and hang out with us, but thanks for doing that. I wish I had the drum roll. I don't, but let me just tell you that the July 2025 edition is right there, my friends. And that is Double R Trucking, their new aero design Freightliner right there, tricked out and custom. And that is actually, it's a kind of a cream color white. It is not a stark bright white, real nice soft color, nice touches and look on the truck. It was at Trucking for Kids, and we're looking forward to being able to share the rest of that with you. Certainly a big turn from all the cow trucks and hay haulers and such that we've had recently on the cover of 104 magazine. So there you have it, July 2025. Congratulations, and we're looking to feature that and share it with you too on the July cover feature show on Studio 104 Live. Also, look for the show reports that are in there, and of course, Frenchie's show in Red Bluff that just happened. That'll be in there as well. Coming up this weekend, truck shows. Well, there's a few. And Dan and Shan are headed to one. In fact, that's why Dan is not on the show with us, which he could have been if he had been home. And since he shot that cover sequence for July, we might have had him on there. But there we go. Back it up. A little more. There we go. So there's a few shows going on. The Southern Idaho Truck Show this weekend is happening, and that is in Twin Falls County Fairgrounds, Filler, Idaho. Look for Dan and Shan to be walking around. They will be there. And as well, Unk's Semi-Stampede. That's Coonley Motorsports Park in Thompson, Ohio. Another one that's going on, too. We don't have it on the calendar here, but and that is our friend Mario having his show. Alberta Diesel Day is going on this weekend as well. Pretty much any weekend in the Ohio Vintage Truck Reunion is the other one that's on there, and that's in Ashland, Ohio, not Ashland, Oregon. Pretty much any weekend that you want to go to a truck show, depending on where you are in the country, you could probably find one to go to. So check out our page, and this is again over on 104magazine.com, and go to our calendar, and calendar of events are on there. Usually we've got pretty much everybody's stuff on there. What it relies on is people sending us the information to let us know that it's happening, and then we'll share it from there. So plenty of other stuff coming up as well. We got the 4th of July weekend to look ahead towards. So we'll have our show next week, and that will be on the 2nd, if I'm not mistaken. So that'll be Wednesday the 2nd. And then it'll be 4th of July weekend. What's everybody doing 4th of July weekend, man? I am not sure at this point yet, but let you know once I figure it out and we get closer. All right, here's something I want you guys to help me out with. So in the new studio, the new digs here, we don't have the old backdrop that I had before. I happen to like the old backdrop a lot. There was a lot of different memorabilia and stuff like that that was fun for me. I kind of got a kick out of it. That being said, I've had a lot of compliments on this, the way that this is. I want you guys to let me know. And you can do it here by commenting, or you can send in a message to me, DM me. That's fine, however you want to do it. I'm curious what you guys think. But this is kind of growing on me. Let me just tell you this. It's not going to stay like this, but we'll have some kind of a variation of it. And we'll see what happens. Like I said last week, it's a blank canvas. Completely raw and completely different. So look forward to kind of taking it and making it happen. And you guys kind of help guide me along in the build, and we'll see what it does. But appreciate everybody tuning in. Thanks, Pittsburgh Power. Appreciate you guys as always. Max mileage product, fuel catalyst that they invented and manufacture. Pretty much can use that stuff on anything that has pistons and creates horsepower. That's what you want to get into it, is some of this product. Better mileage, better longevity on your engines, cleaner burn, all around good product. Also, Evan, thank you, buddy. Evan's Detailing and Polishing and Time to Shine, always out there making us all look fine. So thanks, you guys. Appreciate both of you. And yeah, Wade, hey, I'm always game for a hat, man. Let me tell you, I just happen to be wearing my Giants hat because, well, I got a little bit of a tweak. There we go. That's better. Because I'm a big Giants fan and they're doing great. So I kind of love it. The fact that they're kicking butt and they're having some good baseball right now. They're doing really good. It's fun to watch. But yeah, you guys want to send me a hat? Heck yeah, I'll wear it. You bet. Appreciate it, and look forward to seeing that. I've got a bunch that I have to unpack so I can even get into them. But new ones are always appreciated. All right, everybody, listen, appreciate you all. Thank you. Look for our cover release, the Post and Centerfold tomorrow. Magazines will be going out shortly after that. Website will be getting updated after this weekend. And everything will be looking like July around 10-4 magazine and Studio 10-4 Live. Thanks to David, which we would have been able to have you on the show longer for more conversation, but unfortunately, technological difficulties happen sometimes, and that's just the way it goes. So I'm going to go and make myself a Paloma. I just got a new countertop ice maker, and that thing makes really good ice. So I'm looking forward to having fresh ice and a fresh cocktail. You guys stay safe out there. Keep the shiny side up, and I will see you mañana. Throwback Big Rig Thursday and our Friday drive-by coming up. All right, you guys, take care. Be safe out there. Thanks, everybody, for tuning in.